Hello. Hi, Carl. Hi, anybody else. I'm going to read to you today an old book that I found called Obstreperous, and it's by Ted Greenwood. A kite was born one morning. I have a friend, Suey, who loves to fly kites. A kite was born in the mind of its maker. The maker jumped from his bed and searched for things. Well, to be truthful, he ate his breakfast first. He found some old bamboo canes in the shed. Straight and tall they were. Puss, playing with string, led him to the cupboard under the stairs, where you needed a torch to see all that was inside. The torchlight followed the string and ended on the top shelf. A fat ball of string it was too. Papers were needed. The window seat was the place for those. Inside it were all sorts of papers. Papers with patterns, papers with printing, papers to see through. The maker chose some sheets you could nearly see through. Sticky tape was always a nuisance to find. Do you know where the sticky tape is at your place? On the mantelpiece behind the clock? In the drawer with the knives, forks and spoons? Yes, with the grater and the can opener, and well, you know what else would be in there. The maker went out to the workshop where he often watched his dad working. It was a making sort of place, as you can see. The maker sawed and the maker cut and bent and tied and stuck and cut and folded and pasted. And then he just looked at the kite that he had made. Something was missing. Do you know what's missing? Yes, it's missing a tail. A tail it was given, made from an old striped shirt found in the rag bag. The tail was long, but the string to hold the kite was longer. Out into the sunshine went the maker, but the leaves were still and the trees straight. The maker went back inside and hung up his kite to wait for the right time. 1 day went by, 2 days, 3. What was he waiting for, do you think? And out ran the maker. The leaves were shivering and the trees waving. The wind caught at the tail of the kite and tugged at the string. First time up and then down it swooped on the blackberries. Mrs. Pinch, who lived on one side, said, "And a good place for that kite." She's not very friendly, is she? Second time up, and then it dived down into the pond. The maker squeezed the tail and dried the paper in the sunlight. Mr. Crinkle, who lived on the other side, said, "You know you have an obstreperous kite there." The maker frowned. I beg your pardon?" "Obstreperous," said Mr. Crinkle. "It means naughty and hard to manage. "That's my kite," said the maker, "and that shall be his name. I'll give it a face to match." The face was green, and it looked obstreperous. At least so thought the maker. Obstreperous flew a third time. It flew higher than before, taking more and more string. Down over Mr. Crinkle's house weaved Obstreperous. It tried to hit him as he bent over his cabbages. Mr. Crinkle just laughed and disappeared inside for something. Over Mrs. Pinch's house soared Obstreperous, and then ducked towards her washing. Mrs. Pinch shouted at it, and at the maker too. She did not like the look of Obstreperous, and she ran to her shed for something. Mr. Crinkle appeared with a huge pair of bellows. Every time Obstreperous swooped down, he blew it up again. Mrs. Pinch came out with a large garden fork. Every time Obstreperous dived, she threatened to poke it. The maker clung firmly to the string as Obstreperous climbed higher and higher, weaving and ducking. Mr. Crinkle's bellows could not blow it away. Mrs. Pinch's garden fork could not spike it through. The maker had reached the end of the string when a crimson parrot flew across the sky. It would test its beak on anything, and it liked the look of the string. We sometimes see crimson parrots at my house, don't we, on the deck, and we feed them seed. Away went Obstreperous, free to float and dive and sail and glide away from the maker, from Mr. Crinkle's bellows, and from Mrs. Pinch's garden fork. The face of Mr. Crinkle was sorry as he looked over the fence at the maker. The face of Mrs. Pinch looked glad as she went back to her washing. The face of the maker looked sad as his eyes followed the string that went nowhere. The face of Obstreperous looked happy as it saw the string that once went to the hand of the maker. Sending love to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.